Hello, my name is James McLaughlin and I'm the editor of Car Design News. Now, in a post-pandemic world, we've seen more and more work interactions take place in the virtual space. What role for the traditional motor show? After all, we've seen a decline of certain well-known events and the cancellation of others. Well, one show that is certainly going ahead is IAA Mobility in Munich in September this year, and I'm delighted to say that Car Design News is partnering with the IAA and Konzepthaus to deliver a program of design talks. And to help me explain more about the partnership are Klaus Wartbed, manager of IAA Conference, and Martin Groschwald, founder and CEO of Konzepthaus. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hello. Hi.
Klaus, if I could start with you, IAA Mobility, I guess the clue is a little bit in the title. It's positioning itself as a sort of design-led motor show. Can you explain a little bit more about the thinking there?
Of course. A couple of years ago, the IAA was a motor show. It was in Frankfurt. Everybody knew it. It was one of the big motor shows of the world. And then after a couple of time, after 2017, especially 2019, we thought we have to reshape all that. And we decided to go to another city to rebuild the whole IAA. We renamed it, called it IAA Mobility, to not only have the automotive industry part of it, but also micro-mobility, bicycle, smart city, infrastructure, everything that belongs to an individual mobility. And then we decided to also bring the mobility to the people. So the IAA Mobility has two parts. One part is what we call the open space in Munich downtown. It's a big festival for everyone. And the other part is at the Munich Fairground, which is more a B2B event. We call that Summit. And integrated in that B2B event is the IAA Conference, which is one of the biggest mobility conferences of the world.
Wonderful. And Martin, Konzepthaus, well known in the design world, automotive, for finding talent and celebrating talent. Where do you fit in here? What is Konzepthaus? Where's Konzepthaus coming from?
Well, the first idea was obviously we're based in Munich. So when we heard that the IAA was coming to Munich, we were just like, well, that's pretty much in our back garden. So what can we do? So we started off actually thinking on our just own little events and stuff, and then we reached out to Klaus and the team, and we said like, hey, would you be interested of doing something which is really like, becoming a little bit bigger for the design world? Because obviously the designers' nights were always part of the IAA and all the other big shows as well. So we said like, hey, what about this? Then we were talking about the IAA conference in 2021 as well. So we helped to shape a few panel talks about this as well. And I always mentioned to Klaus, it's like, hey, my kind of ambition, my dream would be is that we can build something where the IAA becomes the world's most important design event for the transportation community. And I think that's really where we are taking the next step right now for this year, after having, let's say, first get to know each other in 2021 and now 2023, and maybe even looking ahead a little bit already in 2025. There's this very clear idea of establishing the IAA not just as the #1 mobility, event overall in Europe, but actually also for the design overview. So that's really what we are doing right now, and the Mobility Design Conference with that is really kind of an extension of what we have started in 2021 and is now going on to the next level in 23.
And it's interesting, we're talking to, you're trying to bring in an audience that is not just the design directors, but also people who are, I would say, like a little bit further down the chain, the more hands-on aspect of car design.
Absolutely. I mean, if we look a little bit into retrospective, it was always a situation where you had events which were from leaders for leaders as well. And obviously, you have a certain kind of limit to that. You have X amount of people that work in this industry that really are in leadership positions. And you end up in like, okay, we're talking about very similar things at the same time. And some topics that are just not really brought up a lot are kind of brushed aside a little bit. So the idea was to say, let's do a conference that really connects with everybody working in the transportation design industry. So not just the high levels, or like, the top level managers, but the mid-level management as well, the people that are, getting their hands dirty, if you want to say so, and supporting that these great products come to life, as well as, of course, students and, just juniors coming into play as well. So the conference is really set up in a way that everybody who works in this industry can come there, take something away, network with people that they haven't seen in a long time, and really use it overall as like a big group of people that celebrates, but also like educates what is happening in the design industry for transportation and mobility right now.
Yeah, it's interesting. You will see that people who are registering, it's all happening on the 4th of September, but there are 3 streams. We've got a main plenary. We've got, to your point, Martin, we've got digital tools, discussions, workshops, a mixture of things, and also very important CMF, which obviously it seems to be more and more greater prominence with the concerns over sustainability and building an identity of the car. I think it's going to be a real kind of mixture of kind of top level. We're not excluding design directors, but we're certainly not just speaking to design directors. And for those interested in attending, I urge you to visit the website IAA and the CDM website to register. We've also already got huge interest, and we're really looking forward to seeing you all on the 4th of September. And with that, thank you very much, Klaus and Martin. I'll see you both later this year, but we're really looking forward to it.
Thank you, James.
Thank you.